have Patrick Davey joining us from WorkSafe BC. It's great to have you back on the show, Patrick.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We're talking about something that's very timely in the news right now, and that is avalanche concern.
Yes.
After what we saw happen last Friday in McBride, where 5 people perished due to an avalanche. You were just saying to me there were more people involved, like 17, many of them very well prepared. Nonetheless, accidents happen.
You know, these are 5 tragic deaths of recreational snowmobilers. From what I've heard from reports, there were 3 or 4 different groups with up to 17 people that were involved in the avalanche. This could have been way worse, but it really emphasizes the fact that employers and workers need to take care when they're going to have work activities out in these areas. In fact, when we look at some of the statistics, from 1998 till now, there's been 3 work-related fatalities with reference to avalanches. There's been 47 serious accidents. Now, most of them are to the industries you would expect, the ski industry, the winter lodging, but there was 2 accidents related to, I think one was a land surveyor and a truck driver. And as industry goes out further into the forest, we're having more people exposed to avalanches. We're talking forestry, we're talking mining, oil and gas.
And with the temperatures warming as they are right now, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see more avalanches falling. Yeah. We have some footage. I think this is of a controlled avalanche in order to sort of mitigate problems. But, you know, that sort of tells the story right there, Patrick.
Yeah, it's deep and deep out there. And, you know, the employers need to control this. They need to control where their workers go. First of all, they need to identify the areas and risk where work will be conducted, and even traveling to those areas. Now, what we know is that when people are traveling on roads controlled by the Ministry of Highways, if they're open, generally they're deemed safe, because the Ministry of Highways has their own avalanche control system for the control of those roads. It's when we get in those areas that are unmanaged that we have to start looking at risk assessments by qualified people. When the risk assessment by the qualified person comes up, especially when people are working in those unmanaged areas where people can be working in the avalanche prone zones, they have to come up with some remedial actions. And this gets into the avalanche safety plan.
And so there is a plan.
They need to make a plan that really eliminates or minimizes risk to workers.
Sure. But it also has to do with the workers themselves. They have to use common sense. They need to take proper precautions when in areas that are prone to avalanche.
Right, and you know, as in anywhere, when workers are uncertain, when they believe they're at risk, they need to talk to their employers right away.
Yeah, like don't, I know sometimes things happen on the job and people think it's okay to not mention it. You need to mention it if there's a safety threat.
Absolutely, because the employer can't fix the problem if he doesn't know what the problem is, if there is a problem.
Right. Where can people get more information about avalanche safety?
As usual, on our website, WorkSafeBC.com, there's a lot of information. But I think, you know, when we look at the one of the major websites is the Canadian Avalanche Association. They have forecasts. They have areas where you can find qualified people to do your assessments. There's a lot of information there.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add? Anything I haven't asked you?
I think, you know, when we look at controlling avalanche, there's almost a hierarchy of controls, 4 tiers of controls that employers can look at. First of all is the administrative control. Do those people need to be working in that area? Avoidance. Can you schedule it for another time? Engineering control, and most of us have seen those engineering controls, but we don't recognize it. On the Coquihalla coming from Hope to Merritt, Snowshed Hill, that's a tunnel. Right at the bottom, there's a big barrier. And if you've gone to Revelstoke, you've probably seen gates. The gates are closed, don't go. Engineering controls, like you saw on the film there, controlled blasting that initiates avalanches to control it. The last level in the hierarchy of control is the procedural controls. This is where we get to the avalanche safety program that may utilize specific training, devices, safe work procedures.
Okay, so there's lots of measures in place. People just have to be aware of where to go to get the information and take the proper precautions and take care out there.
I think also, you know, one of the things that people don't use enough is there are a lot of safety officers in different areas, WorkSafe safety officers. Give them a call. We have SMEs. subject matter experts in avalanche that will provide the employers and the workers with a lot of information about avalanches.
Okay, and on your website, of course, WorkSafe BC, lots more information as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Patrick Davey, a pleasure to have you on again. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, we will take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.